Hey friend, welcome back to my channel. My name is Heather, and this is Create Your Own Cozy. In this week's video, I'm using all 5 of the new cottage colors that were released this week with DIY paint curated by Jami Ray Vintage. If you want to see what I come up with all these yummy colors, stick around. For our first project today, we are going to work on this magazine rack. Now, I thrifted it for $3. I've been using it for storage in my down in the basement space, but it's time to upcycle it and get it into my booth, use it for storage there, and put it for sale. Now, it is relatively cheaply made, but the great part is you could just unscrew it and take the whole thing apart, which made painting so much easier. Now, let's use Veranda, the one-step paint from the cottage colors. You do need to remember to stir these paints really well because there is a top coat built in. There's a lot of pieces and a lot of sides, but it was way easier painting it taken apart than it would have been if it was all together. This particular faux wood has very dark wood grain. Hindsight, I should have primed this piece to cover up that wood grain a lot quicker. This is 2 coats of paint. Then this is 3 coats of paint, but you can see 3 coats of paint on this piece versus one without the grain. There's a lot easier coverage. So I did want to rough this up a bit. I am not someone who likes precious stuff, so I wanted to slightly sand the edges, and there's no need to seal since it's an all-in-one paint. This would be great in any little girl's bedroom. What do you guys think? Project number 2 are these metal urns that I have had in my collection for a while. They kind of go together, but they're not exactly the same. I believe I paid half price for them. Let's get these things upcycled so they can go in someone's spring decor. Color number 2 today is Garden Sage. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous green. One of my top 3 favorites, and I wanted to go ahead and show you the one on the left is Garden Sage and the one on the right is Juniper, so you can see the difference in the 2 greens in the cottage color line. So after doing 2 solid coats of this color, I added some dark wax. I just wanted it to be grunged up just a little bit. Put it on. Since there's a top coat already in there, the wax does not go down into the color and make it muddled. So I'm just putting it over the top so that it has a little bit of age to it. And I thought this was a great upcycle with this gorgeous, gorgeous green. If you guys are new here, welcome to Create Your Own Cozy. I would love it if you hit subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and let me know you are here. Project number 3 is this adorable rocking horse that I got from the thrift store. I think it was around $4. It doesn't look super old. It was handmade and heavily top coated, heavily varnished. I'm going to use another favorite of mine, the color Plaster, and I used some tin foil to pull back the hair quite light, getting highlights of this. I kind of liked the yarn that was already in here, it was a beige color already. The good thing about this being heavily varnished, it wasn't failing, so I wasn't worried about any bleed through or tannins coming through. So I did go over probably a total of 3 coats. I just had a show on TV and just kept going over until I liked how the coverage was. It was probably 3 coats. This right here is showing you what 2 coats look like. You can see it's kind of scary looking, but if you just keep going with the process, you'll get a look you like. And then I am going for heavily distressed. Maybe I should have just gone outside with an orbital sander. I just wanted to stay watching my show. And so I just heavily distressed it everywhere that I could. And I just love the look at this. The distress goes with the hair of this horse so well. And I think this is a precious upcycle. What do you guys think of this one? I think this is gonna sell quick in my booth. For project number 4, I got this little tin out of my stash. I had paid $1 for it at the thrift store. And since it was so shiny, decided to go over it with 1 coat of Salvation solution just to try to keep the paint from scratching off. This is a super shiny surface. After I covered the whole thing with 1 coat of Salvation solution, I got out the color Azure, which admittedly this bright turquoise is not one of my favorite colors, but I do know a bunch of stockists that this is their favorite color of the new release. So I am glad that we have something for everyone. What I'm going to do today is attempt to mute it down just a bit with some dark wax. So I'm going over this whole thing, making sure the color is down in the crevices, and going over this whole thing with 3 coats of the all-in-one paint. It does not need to be top coated. Next, I'm going to go over it with the dark wax, and you will see how that wax just makes this a lovely vintage turquoise color, and I think it is a perfect addition to our cottage line. My 5th and final project for today is this little ceramic shoe. I think I got it for 50 cents a while back. I started this project last week with 1 coat of Salvation solution. Then I put faded burlap over the top and kind of stopped, didn't know the direction I wanted to go with it. But this week I'm going to use that 5th color honey to make it a fun vintage yellow looking shoe. I did 3 coats of the honey, and since there's no top coat, the next step to get those little divots to stand out was to go over the whole thing with a dark wax. I wiped it off with a paper towel that was pretty heavily waxy. So what I ended up doing is getting a baby wipe that had some moisture to it, and it got a lot of that original yellow back so that the darkness you see on the left just went down into the little grooves, and I thought that was a great way to upcycle this shoe. What do you guys think? right, so what did you think? I definitely have top 3. Listen, all these colors are really good. My favorite is definitely the pink. I love the plaster and that green. Oh my goodness, those are definitely my top 3. And guys, if I'm gonna use yellow, this is the shade of yellow I would use. Let me know in the comments below what your favorite project was today, and what is your favorite new color? Are you surprised by my favorites? I bet you're not if you've been following me for a while, because I know those little muted vintage colors are totally my jam. So I am heading to Myrtle Beach for spring break. I'm excited to have some beach time, some family time. While I will have some avenues to fill my online orders during this time, I just wanted to let you know there could be a slight delay. All the new cottage colors are available in my booth at Angry Mama's Antiques and Interior in Cumming, Georgia, the Cumming store, and on my website at createyourowncozy.com. Guys, I hope you have so much fun getting creative and painting with these beautiful new colors. And don't forget to do something this week that feeds your creative soul. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check me out over at createyourowncozy.com.